and using a laptop microphone and speakers to broadcast it. So yeah, it's a bit shitty, but better than nothing, I suppose.
Absolutely.
Well, better than that penalty.
Oh. Well, we're live now anyway. So hello to Rob and the Bounty Hunter.
Good evening, Stuart. Good evening, everybody.
How are you doing? I don't know if there'll be that many in tonight just because of the fact Liverpool games on, but we'll always do these shows because people like to watch them back. Yeah, it was. If anybody's wondering what happened last night, it was I was coming back from a taxi run, and Rob was on duty. He did a fantastic job for the limited resources we had. Where I was pleased because I could still hear the match pretty crystal clear. So I was able to feel really, really disappointed through my journey back.
Yeah, what time did you get in?
20 to 10. I got even more depressed because I caught the last few goals at Newcastle.
God, yeah.
Got the winning goal. I tell you what, Leeds just pressed the self-destruct button. There were 3-2 up.
Yeah.
And across came in. And one of the Leeds defenders jumped up and he must have had like octopus arms waving all over the place with his black gloves. Keep your arms down when you're going to be jumping up for the ball. And the ball came in and it clearly just hit his hand. A stonewall penalty, and the Leeds fans were furious. It's like, if you're going to jump up, I mean, you should know by now VAR's on the ball. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
These players are not only just wanting to try and get a cross into the box for their own players to score, but they're wanting to hit hands as well. So
yeah,
it was a bit lackadaisical from Leeds then. And then with 3-3, and they were very, very poor defending, and they were furious. But hats off to Newcastle, to be fair. I mean,
they played all right. Just a little bit annoying that Leeds kept taking the lead. And...
All right, cheers, Gary. Give you while I'm off to watch Baz. No problem, mate. Tell him I said hello. Good evening, Colin Major. Rob, you've got that storm hitting you tonight. Yeah, weatherman Rob, what's the crack with that one then?
Yeah, well, apparently the Met Office have issued a red warning, but it's for a little bit further west than us. It's mostly Cornwall, and they've already, I think somebody had said they'd already had gusts to 99 mile an hour. Well, I've just literally about 5 minutes ago had Bounty out, and it's a bit damp, but I wouldn't even say it's breezy. There's barely any wind out there at the moment, but I think they're forecasting for here about 40 mile an hour, 45 mile an hour winds for
whereabouts are you,
early
Rob?
hours. Tiverton is probably the nearest larger town. So down the M5 to the A361. Yeah, it's raining, but it's not particularly windy here at the moment.
I'll show you my phone for what it's worth. It's absolutely
yeah. That looks like I'm forgetting what they call it now.
There's Britain. You can just make it out there,
yeah. We're sort of in the middle of the quieter zone at the moment, and the red zone is over Cornwall, and that'll probably ease off before it gets to us. We're a little bit further inland, so it's never quite as windy inland as it is on the beach.
The worst of it's going to be between 9 o'clock and midnight. And then it's going to filter off between like 3 o'clock in the morning. So from 9 o'clock onwards, you should start to hear some windows rattling.
Yeah. It, as I say, out there at the moment, it's just virtually, I wouldn't say a flat calm, but it's not far off it. I mean, what are the Met Office is saying 27 knot gusts at the moment. That's bollocks.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I was a weather observer for 17 years, and there's no way it's 27 knots out there at the moment.
Ever since the hurricane misfortune, the England where Michael Fish got it wrong, they've exaggerated the wind speeds ever since to cover the backs. I mean, the amount of times they say up here, we're going to get a storm, this yellow alert here, be careful when you're going out. I could drop a feather and it wouldn't move.
Yeah, they've got to be careful, because if an incident occurs and somebody gets seriously hurt, they'll get hammered for it. But they do try to forecast the weather sensibly, or at least everybody in the Met Office I know tries to forecast the weather sensibly. The problem is that a lot of the stuff on the interwebs, so the likes of the BBC weather thing, the Met Office's own weather map thing, it uses raw model data, and raw model data has no filtering on it. So it tends to be a fair bit over the top, whereas a forecaster would look at that and go, that's not going to be that strong, and wind it back a bit. But I mean, the maps on the Met Office site, I know those intimately well. I designed the damn things, and my team built them, so I know how they work. But they use raw model data, so they're always going to be probably a little bit on the pessimistic side. So yeah, but that's the weather anyway.
Yeah, thank you, Weatherman Rob.
We'll miss all the snow here though. That's the good thing.
Very, very important. And
I hate snow.
From one storm and depression low pressure systems, that was a depression show last night from the lads, wasn't it, Rob? But what the hell went on there?
It was an odd game because, first half we did our typical thing. We were off the pace. We didn't look as though we were anywhere near it. Hume unfortunately played Thiago on side for the goal they scored in the first half. Well taken goal. Can't complain about that. But we came out in the second half and we looked as though we were up for it. And then, of course, we had the what shall we say, the most embarrassing penalty I've ever seen. Where if you're going to chip it into the goalie's hands. Oh, he did. Little bit embarrassing, a little bit annoying. Give it a welly. Put it in the back of the net. But you don't mind if you try hit it towards the post and the goalie manages to get his fingertips to it and save it. Fair enough. But just to chip it straight onto into the goalie's hands and the goalie doesn't even move. Trying to be a bit too clever, I think. And after that, I think our heads went down. We just
hello, Grindon.
Yeah.
He says, I can't understand why Reed keeps getting played on the wing when he gets a game too lightweight at present. Well, I'll get back to that at some point.
Gary V's a Newcastle fan. He's just popped in to say hello before he's off to watch Baz on through Black and White Eyes.
Yeah, and Black and White Eyes, cracking Newcastle channel with Baz and the lads, and we team up with them now every Monday on their channel, and they're coming on ours, which I think we've signed a good deal there. Rob, between them, I think it's gonna take off. That we'll keep it going.
It's good. I mean, they're a nice, decent bunch of lads. I mean, obviously, I know Don Earl very well. We served together out in Cyprus for a couple of years. In fact, he lived just over the road from me in Cyprus, and they spent their last few nights in Cyprus living with us rather than going into a hotel. And we've been up to their house. They've been down and stayed in Devon with us. So yeah, he's a good lad, Don. We've watched a few Sunderland games over the years against the Skunks. So yeah, and Baz, super fan Dan, and Scott are a decent bunch of guys. They take it as much as give it out. So yeah, it's a good laugh.
Well said. I've just put the update on the score. It's Arsenal 0, Liverpool 0. And do you know, as much as I like football, sometimes I'm footballed out, and I've watched enough football for now. Sometimes I like to do something different. Steve Taylor says, "Did you see their keeper give Enzo the thumbs up after the pen miss?" Hey, there's nothing wrong with a bit of S-housery. We dig it, and it's just when it's on the other foot, it doesn't look as good. All right, Colin Sunshine says Rig needs to move out on loan, if not permanent.
He doesn't seem to be. I read something earlier about him being about a yard behind the thinking. his thinking's a little bit behind what's going on the field. I mean, it's something that'll come with time, obviously. I wouldn't like to lose him permanently because he is a very good prospect, but perhaps a move out on loan because he isn't going to get a vast amount of game time, particularly when we get the lads from AFCON back. He's not going to get much in the way of game time. So maybe he's a move out on loan, but not on permanent. I think we need to hold on to him because he is a cracking prospect. He's still a bairn, for God's sake. What is he, 19?
He is. I mean, on the flip side to that, I mean, some people say, well, look at Miley. You know what I mean? Some people, if they've got a talent, they hit the ground running from the off.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you think back to the
Mickey Bridges. The minute he came on, he was in. I was at the first game, Huddersfield Town, were 2-1 down. Mickey Bridges came on with like 8 minutes to go. He scored 2 goals and won the game 3-2.
Yeah.
Well, that's different because that was like the Championship back then in the 90s. I mean, the Premier League is a different kettle of fish, isn't it?
It is. I think, I mean, John Yule's just said Regan O'Neill out on loan. Yeah, I can see O'Neill going out on loan, 09 going out on loan, if not permanent move. I mean, it's sad because the lads are, I mean, he's Sunderland through and through. If you asked him to sweep the floors, he'd sweep the floors. But if he wants to play football, he's not going to see much in the way of football at Sunderland going forward. Same perhaps with Dan Neil. There was a lot of negative comments when Dan Neil came on last night from the watchers. Just wondering. I mean, okay, he didn't really bollocks it up, but by that point we were just about 3-0 down anyway. So, but I mean, Riggy, I think the biggest disappointment for me last night was Adingra. He just didn't seem to be at the races.
Well, talking about he didn't at all. He's hot and cold, and you kind of have that in the Premier League. So I mean, let's start from the beginning with the football. And I mean, it was a bright start from Brentford. Look, they're a decent side at all. It was,
yeah.
You know, they obviously didn't take them long to get in front. But because I kept missing bits, was it 1-0 at half time still? When did we get the penalty second half?
Yeah, just about 10 minutes into the second half, we got the penalty.
Aye.
And it was a penalty. There was no getting away from it. The guy was all over Brobby. Had all of his shirt front and back and stuck his leg in front of him and tripped him off after the ball had gone. So it was definitely a penalty. It's just a little bit embarrassing the way Laffey did the penalty. Do you realise that's the first Premier League penalty we've missed in the last 25?
Yeah, and it rubs salt in the wounds. I was watching the Newcastle Leeds game, and I think they've scored something like 22 out of 22 penalties at home. You've got to be lethal. You've got to be ruthless and lethal in the Premier League. It's as simple as that.
Now, if it had come off, to be fair to Laffey, if it had come off, it would have been a brilliant penalty. But it was the fact that the goalkeeper made no attempt to move.
Hello, Sophie. How are you doing, Pet? Are you well? Good to see you. Hope all your family's well, Pet. I think that's Kev's daughter, Sophie.
Yeah.
Kev was going to come on tonight, but he is working hard. But I do keep in touch with Kev and stuff, so I hope he's all well.
Yeah.
Into that second half, I mean, because I was driving back from Liverpool on my job, respectively, Sunderland were just coming into the game, stronger and stronger and stronger. And I thought, how many times have we seen this? You know, we're coming second half stronger, and we're getting better and better as the game goes on.
Yeah,
and we got the penalty, and I definitely believe, and I ain't making any excuses here, that if we'd have scored that, we wouldn't have lost that game.
No, we wouldn't. Because we would have probably gone on to win it.
Because the way our mentality's been this season, when the lads are fired up and the tails are up, there's no one who can stop us. Do you know what I'm saying? The
Yeah.
way we got on, there's no one can stop us. I'm not 100% guaranteed, obviously, that would happen.
Yeah.
But without a shadow of a doubt, we felt sorry for ourselves after that, because I think the whole team was like shell shocked. I don't know whether
I think they
that.
were embarrassed.
Well, I don't know whether they actually knew that was going to happen. Do you think if Enzo Lafay in the dressing room before the second half says, or before the match even started, if we get a penalty, lads, I'm going to try the Penneca. Was it the Penneca?
Yeah.
What do you call it?
The Paneka,
The
I think.
Penneca. If do you think if
Yeah.
he said that to the lads in the dressing room, I'm going to try the Penneca. What do you think the lads would have said?
They would have said, just hit the bloody thing.
You know.
Hit it hard, hit it low. The goalie's probably not going to get it.
And when he missed, and when that happened, the whole just atmosphere changed in the Sunderland camp.
Yeah, the heads went down. I think they were trying to hide from embarrassment. Um, and they just got overrun after that.
We never got a look in. After that, we were skinned down the flanks. But without a shadow of a
Yeah.
doubt, that was a game changing moment. I mean, against a very good Brentford side at home, you get the Dora job, because let's not face it, we're also a really, really good side. And as I mentioned before, Rob, when we turn it on, we can be pretty much untouchable.
Yeah,
And I
totally
thought,
agree.
like, that's what was frustrating. We had that chance, and once Xhaka gets them all revved up, but even Xhaka seemed like just downbeat. I think it just shocked the whole team.
I think it did, but I'm also wondering. I mean, I saw Regis's interview after the game uh, this morning, and I get the impression he thought the lads were tired. And to be fair, they've had a bloody hard slog through December. There's been a lot of games. Some of them have been tough games where the team have run themselves ragged. I mean, you look at the game against Man City, we were just brilliant throughout the whole game. Against Tottenham, we were shite in the first half and much, much improved in the second half, and probably should have won that game. Um, Against Leeds, again, we put the effort in against Man City. Against Leeds, we looked tired. Yes, we scraped a draw, but we looked tired in that game. And last night, first half, they looked like they were playing Leeds. Second half, they came out, they were a bit improved, but their heads seemed to drop after the penalty miss, which is possibly understandable. But they are professional footballers. Maybe they shouldn't be letting their heads drop like that. But you know, that game's gone. Move on. Prepare for the next game. Not so much the Everton game on Saturday, but the next league game against Crystal Palace.
I mean, let's not forget.
Stadium Alike.
Let's not forget as well, Rob. We're playing with half a squad. I mean, to go
Yeah.
through the AFCON period, were we missing players against Man City at the Etihad? Were we?
No, we had most of the team for that one, but we had Xhaka wasn't playing at 100% because he was on 4 yellows and didn't want to miss the game against the Scum. Siddiqui was on 4 yellows, and although he knew he was going to Africa, he would have missed a game on his return if he'd picked up a fifth yellow. That pressure's theoretically off at the moment because Xhaka can get another 6 yellow cards between now and the 32nd game of the season without picking up a suspension.
We do have to, obviously, like I say, even before the AFCON started, we were still missing players. Like Diarra with injuries and stuff. And to do what we did in the AFCON period is to only lose that game against
one real game, yeah.
Brentford. I mean, that also could be another good factor as well, because not only were the games thick and fast, but the quality of the opposition that we were playing.
Yeah,
Do you know what I'm saying?
And let's face it. I mean, we were playing a team that were on the same number of points as us yesterday, and they were one place above us in the league. So, 3-0 was I don't think we deserve to get beat 3-0, but
We just
you
give
know,
up. We just seem
yeah,
to give up. It's
we
like,
we did give up.
and
Yeah,
you could tell Regis Labrise with his substitutions. Like bringing on iron as if to say, well, game's gone.
yeah, yeah,
Um,
exactly.
and let's not face it. We were playing against one of the best strikers in the Premier League, that Thiago. He
Oh,
is a tank.
he's just scoring goals left, right, and centre,
Aye,
isn't he?
he's like Mr. Brobby, but double the size. He's an absolute unit. I'd love to have him on our squad. Him like.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, we'll see if we can sign him. If we're going to spend 70 million on uh Fermin Lopez, why not just bid 70 million for Thiago from Brentford in the window, and we'll have him.
Kev Atkinson, he can't be with us tonight because he's working hard. He says, Penn last night, he says, was crazy at 1-0 down. He says it totally changed the focus and mentality of the rest of the team also, unfortunately. He says, but never mind. He says, take it and move on to the next game. Also, another point for me from last night is Rig. I know he's playing out of position and still very young, but he's just looked out of his depth. Could see his football brain is a yard behind and making silly mistakes. Everybody is saying that about Rig. I mean, look, some players are just not Premier League players. It's as plain and simple as that. I mean, how old's Rig now?
19, I think.
I'm not having it. You'll be able to start at. People keep saying, "Oh, he's still very young." It's like, well, not really. How many players do you see younger than 19, 18, just being wonder kids in the Premier League? I mean, I think we'll be able to tell now or not what he's made of, and I just think Chris Rigg, I think his peak is his Championship football, and even then there was a lot of games he went missing in the Championship. I mean, even the playoff final he was non-existent. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I just think if it was Premier League material, you would have seen that by now. Yes, he's going to get better and stronger, but there's a lot of players, Premier League quality in the past, if not now, younger than him.
Yeah, I mean, and to be fair, I mean, the lad hasn't played that many games. He's played a couple of games since AFCON started. He didn't get much. He didn't get much game time before that. Dennis Serkin, again, his first game back, he looked about 10 yards off the pace. Second game back, he was much improved. Last night, he was getting skinned, but I think that was the skill of the Brentford wingers, to be honest, rather than the fact that it was Serkin. And I think with Riggy, it is a case of he probably needs game time, but he needs to be managed because he is only a bairn. You don't want to burn him out, run him ragged.
No. It's just every time he comes on, he just gets so much negative reviews from the Sunderland fans. They say the same thing every time he's on about not having a football brain, and he seems a yard off the pace.
Yeah, and I think that's where I was saying earlier on. He's a yard off the pace thinking wise. He probably has got a decent footballing brain, but it's just not up to Premier League speed at the moment.
I mean, it's a tricky one, isn't it? It's like people say the only way to get him up to Premier League speed is to give him more game time. But if he's not good enough at the current moment, it's too risky to give him game time when we need to really get points on the bag. Maybe he's, when we do, or if we do secure Premier League safety, we're good enough points, then do we give Rig a few more game time? Or do we then still not risk it? Do we still play our stronger squads to see how high we can get in the Premier League? Because let's not face it, I think the higher you finish in the Premier League, the more money you get, don't you?
Yeah, that is absolutely correct. However, I think, and John Bell's just said he's a number 10. He's not a winger. Mundell didn't have a particularly good game last night. He didn't. He seemed to be running around like a headless chicken a lot of the time.
Which has surprised me because the fact like But yet again, we haven't seen much of Mundle though, have we?
No, again, yeah, that's the thing. He's a young lad. He hasn't had a lot of game time. And the same with Mayenda to a certain extent as well. Hasn't had a vast amount of game time. Um, Robbie's I think Robbie is going to be a starter for us. He's not going to be a super sub. He's a starter. He doesn't appear to do a lot, but when you play the ball to him, he can hold the ball up, and not many defenders are going to muscle him off the ball because he's built like a brick wall, isn't he?
Oh, without a shadow of a doubt. But I mean, I think also as well why some of the players are like the Rig and the Mundle aren't getting much game time is the sheer quality that we have bought in the transfer window. You know, no disrespect to Mundle and Riggy, but they're outclassed by the players we've got, and that's obviously one of the main reasons why we're not really seeing much of the likes of Mundle, Rig, and 09 and this and that and the other, because they're miles behind the players we've bought. They've got just utter quality. But this is the gap between the Championship and the Premier League. I mean, look how much we were begging for Mundle to come back. We were begging for Rig, don't leave the club, and when he signed a new contract, get in, we've got Riggy. But there's such a huge gap. In the Premier League.
Good evening, Kev.
Oh, Kev's there. How you doing, mate? How's the sofa? I was going to catch up on the chat. Get everyone involved. Reed just needs to take a look at why he played Hume at left back and Rig on the right. I mean, but you would hope and think that Regis would have enough experience to play them in the right position. He obviously knows something that we don't.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Peter Harvey says, I wonder if the FA Cup game against Everton will be cancelled due to the weather storm. There is a lot of snow forecast.
It should be fine. I've had a look at the weather for Liverpool on Saturday, and although they've got some, you've got to bear in mind the stadium, the David Dickinson Stadium is right next to the docks at Liverpool. It's going to be highly modified weather because of the proximity of the water. You know yourself, if you lived in Sunderland, if you lived on the west side up near the A19, you'd get snow. If you lived down at Rope, you never saw snow because it just didn't snow down there because you were too close to the sea. Friday is predominantly dry. Saturday, predominantly dry. It's going to be cold though. Looking at probably 1 o'clock at 10 o'clock, 1 degree at 10 o'clock in the morning, and a max of 3 during the afternoon. So a cold day, not particularly windy. Wind southeasterly, so it might feel a bit colder as well because it's from the southeast. But it looks like the weather will be half decent for the game, so I don't think it'll get cold enough.
No, I don't think it will either. It's going to be a brief, quick storm. It's going to push across.
However, my view is it's the FA Cup. It's not worth winning. Man United were given a bye to miss out on it 1 year, so totally devalued the competition in my book. Just put the reserves out and see how they do. If they win, great. If they don't, we're not going to miss it. Just crack on, sort the league out.
Big Colin Major says, let's hope it's a lesson learned from Enzo. Don't think he'll not be trying that technique again. If you look at his penalty again, to do a Peneka, is that what you call him?
Yeah,
his run-up was all wrong. Do you know, you've still got to run up full pelt, like you're going to absolutely leather the ball and put your thingy up. He sort of like, the keeper read and sort of knew what he was doing. Don't forget, he's a good keeper, and they're trained to sort of like be ready for when these players are doing these fancy penalties. And you look at Riggs' penalty again; it wasn't convincing his run up. Do you know what I mean? He should have just took a huge, mighty run up as if to say, "I'm going to lash the material off this ball," like he usually does, and then convince the keeper to dive and then Peneka a little chip. But his run was all wrong. It wasn't convincing.
It was a stroll rather than a run, wasn't it?
I would just like to know what was going through his head at the fact that we were 1-0 down. You know, what made him think that he was gonna score with that. I don't know. It's only he knows that. I don't know if he's give an interview about that. I do not know.
Oh, he's probably not, because he's probably too embarrassed by it. But yeah,
You know,
yeah. My apologies. It wasn't Cirkin, it was Hume that was getting run ragged at the back last night. So
Liverpool's just hit the bar, says David Graham. Neil, O'Neill and Rig have to go or go out on loan, says John Eulis. A lot of fans will agree with that as well.
yeah.
Kevin Atkinson says, I like Rig. Would like to see him in that 10 position for a run of, say, 5 games. The 3 players there, though, so we'll take an injury for that to happen.
Yeah.
Cirkin didn't play last night. He reckons he should have done. Peter Harvey says, keep Rig, of course, due to injuries. John Bell says, Mienda and Brobby up front, Rig just behind them, Enzo, Granite and no in midfield. Then we have Diarra, plenty of choices to get goals. Kev as well says again, wrong team selection in left back, right mid and left wing in my opinion. Should have been Cirkin, Mienda and Mundle on the left. Looking forward to the AFCON lads back. We will kick on again. David Graham says, by the way, the time where your derby at St James is scheduled for the March 21st-ish will depend if Newcastle reach the League Cup final, because the derby is scheduled for the final weekend. West Like Us says, shouldn't get to take another if not confident enough. No use getting good results for Spurs away, etc., and then not getting results at the likes of Bradford. But you see, that's where a lot of people are wrong, because Brentford...
Spurs are in 14th.
Yeah.
Brentford were in 7th.
Brentford are in the most informed teams at home. Brentford.
Yeah.
There's that. I don't know what the stats are, but I don't think there's many teams have got points at Brentford. They even tanked Newcastle, didn't they? Was it 3-1?
Yeah, it was. They're a good team at home. And Thiago is just he's a damn good goal scorer. Simple as that.
They're a unit. It's a compact little ground. I've said to Rob when I was talking to him yesterday, Sunderland, for some strange reason, they didn't seem to play well in these smaller, compact grounds. It's like it doesn't. It's almost like the pitch has shrunk half the size and they feel uncomfortable. They can't play the way they can. I mean, obviously the pitch isn't, but it just I can't put my finger on it. I used to get that when they played at Luton. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like they just don't seem to have that floor. It's weird.
Luton's a claustrophobic ground, though, isn't it? It's.
I think
the pitch is the minimum width they're allowed, which I think is 50 meters.
Yeah.
Might not even be that. I've got a feeling it is 50 meters wide. Is the minimum pitch size, but there isn't a maximum. And what we used to do a lot of the time at Roker Park was, because we had a wide pitch, we always played wingers. And even under Peter Reid at Stadium of Light, because the Stadium of Light's quite a wide pitch, there's room for wingers to play. Whereas on a compact pitch, everything's pushed in, and there's not really the room that you get on a bigger pitch for the wingers. A lot of it's a bit like, I suppose, Sunderland moving the advertising hoardings in to stop long throws. I know it affects our long throws as well, but on a smaller pitch, maybe you just don't have the space for the likes of Adingra to run into. And Tottenham's pitch was weird because, I mean, it's on a bloody bank for a start.
Yeah. It's like Everest to take a corner. You hit the death zone before you click the ball in the box. It was like us says, okay, I'm just an old hat about Brentford. He says, I forget teams like Brentford are better. Them years are big clubs like Man United, not so good. But much changes have been as years roll past us. Look, I know exactly where you're coming from. It didn't seem like 5 minutes ago I was at Wembley Stadium watching Carlisle beat Brentford in the Johnson Paint Trophy final at Wembley. We beat them 1-0. And you say the name Brentford and you think, Brentford, yeah. But, they're a hell of a side. They're a really, really good side. I'd like to say how many years they've been in the Premier League now, but they've been a few. and they don't look anywhere near relegation material. Far from it.
2019, I think Brentford came up.
So they're doing something. They're doing something right.
Yeah.
Steve Taylor says, like I said earlier, Stu, I think Enzo had watched the keeper with pens, and the keeper goes early for pens. That's why he tried the pen again. Yeah,
Yep,
I understand that.
probably.
I understand that, Steve. But like I say, look at his penalty. His run up was all wrong. It's like his run up sort of gave away what he was going to do. Do you know what I mean? If you, because that keeper be experienced, he's taught to sort of read what players are going to do. Enzo Lafi's run up wasn't sort of convincing to me. Kev says, I also agree with Rob. If we have 100 million to spend, I would spend the lot on Thiago. He looks 40-year-old, but he's only early 20s. He's one of the few real natural goal scorers in the whole league. He says, well, I said, Kevin, I says, I just knew before the game, I says, give him a chance. I says, he's going to score. I says, he's just an absolute pain in the backside for defenders. Was he playing at the Stadium of Light when we beat them?
No, he wasn't. He was injured.
He was injured. There we go. I'm not saying it would have been different with him on, but, he's going to eat up teams like that. If any teams that heads go down, he's vital. Kevin says, remember, a narrow pitch also means the long throws go further into the box. Reeks McQuaid, good to see you, mate. He says, to be honest, I don't think we need a new striker. He says, I think we just need more service to the ones we've got. We don't create enough away from home. He says, nobody can score without the ball unless Walter MACKEM was on the pitch. Anyways. We never forget that, will we?
No, we'll never let them forget it either.
We keep on saying about, service. Why is our
issue we've got?
Why is our service not good enough, Rob? Have we not got the players? Have we not got the quality? Are we playing the wrong formation? If the players did get their service, are the strikers good enough to create the chances to put them in the net?
I mean, my personal view is we tend to set up in a 4-5-1 or a 5-4-1 formation. And you're relying on your wingers getting forward. But that's still then, if you've got quick wingers and a quick centre forward, it still means you've only got one person in the box, really, to rely on or play the ball to. Wilson is great if you play the ball over the top and he can run onto it. He'll hit it. Robbie can hold the ball up and lay it off, which he does very effectively. Mayenda's similar to he's a mix of the two. I think he's a hefty unit, so he can hold the ball up, but he's also one of those players that likes to run onto a ball and hit the ball when it's in front of him. One touch, bang. Mundell's a more tricky player, more of a winger than an inside forward, I think. But we've just got a single striker up front, and it means that unless all of the team pile forward, they're going to struggle. And I mean, this was something I was saying on the MACKEM's versus Magpies show the other day, that what we probably need is a couple of wing backs whose primary job is defending, but we know they can play going forward. So you've got a 4 or 5 at the back, but 2 of them are wing backs. And then you've got a midfielder 4, so you've got another 2 wide players. And you can get the overlaps going if they're quick enough. And that's what, to be fair, that's what I think Newcastle tried to do with Livramento, is they've got wingers, but Livramento's an additional winger when he goes forward. It's just something I think that would improve our chances of scoring more goals. Because it doesn't matter, even if we had Thiago, if you don't give him the bloody ball, he's not going to score goals.
It's a funny one, isn't it? It's a funny one. I mean, I still read like a lot of social media comments and stuff, and whether you like it or not, I've been reading a few Sunderland fans saying, they wouldn't really miss if Mayenda and Wilson had all got sold and they're away in January. They wouldn't miss him. I mean,
Yeah.
take that with a pinch of salt, or which way you take it. Like, I mean, can you see the reason why some of the Sunderland fans are saying that, Rob, or are they
You
being a bit daft?
you can, but he's always been even last season when he came in, he had a great run until he signed a permanent contract.
Mm.
Then he went off the boil for a while. Then he came back onto the boil and scored a few more goals. Then he went off again. And he did quite well first 3 or 4 games of the season at home, scoring goals. Um, and then he's gone off the boil again. He will come back. He will score more goals, but it's inconsistent. And in the Premier League, you really do need consistency. Somebody who you can put the ball to and rely on to hit the damn target at least.
The thing is, I mean, you've mentioned there, right, and it's a massive point. You need someone with some level of consistency to put the ball in the net. Leeds United revival is only because of Calvert-Lewin. Brentford is only because of Thiago.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? And you need that. I mean, the likes of Newcastle, they've won the last 3. You know, like Harvey Barnes is scoring for fun at the minute, and Guimaraes, or what do you call him, Bruno? I always have struggled remember. He's sick in it. Guimaraes, yeah. You know, they're regularly putting the ball in the net, and we are sort of scoring, but we need that consistency. You know, I'm not saying a goal every game, but a lot more higher ratio than what we are doing.
Yeah, and I mean the thing is, we're not really conceding. So, we've got one of the best defenses in the Premier League. However, we're not scoring many.
No. And
We're
goals
normally scoring 1 or 2 a game, and 2
yeah.
at best. More often than not, it's 1 goal a game. And, yes, it's great if you win games 1-0. But once we go 1-0 ahead, we do tend to sit back a little bit and invite the pressure on because we know we've got a decent defense. But it only takes one mistake and, all the hard work that's been done is undone.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, I agree with Kev. Mayenda and Isidore, we're not far enough down the line in terms of progress to get rid of those 2 yet. I think, a year, 2 years down the line, we'll have brought better players in, and we could then consider whether we want to keep them or get shot.
Reese says I like Mayenda to be fair. He's direct, but Mayenda's another one.
Yeah.
Some say we've not seen enough of Mayenda. Was like us says then broken tibia and fibia, double break, and came back as good after fighting back via a physio. John Bell says Regis needs to stop being a tactician to keep the opponents out and maybe concentrate on scoring goals. Reese says, I think with Ronaldo and Sadiki both coming back, we're going to look stronger for sure. I don't think you'll see any of them playing against Everton, mind, if they're back. I think they're going to put
I think it'll be a weakened team. It'll be the likes of O'Neill, O'Nine, Neil, O'Nine, the guys who aren't getting games all the time. Because, well, that's what I would like to see. But
what do you think? What do you think of Kev? Big Kev's thingy there. He says, I thought Xhaka and Lafay would have got more goals than they have.
Yeah, I think Lafay's have all come from penalties, haven't they, this season?
I think they have, yeah.
Xhaka's only got the one, and that was a deflection against Everton. However, Xhaka has never been a prolific goal scorer. But, it's I think it's symptomatic of the way that our team play is it's all built up from midfield. It requires one good ball through to put your striker in and hope to hit the net.
It is. I mean, these messages are coming in quick. Whilst Lex says best striker I recall was a manager's dream, Larson. A very quiet guy in nature.
Yeah, he was a cracking player.
Kev says,
and a damn fine goal scorer as well.
Kev says a Thiago type player is all that we are missing, in my opinion. Break the bank for a goal scorer. We are comfortable enough in all other positions until the end of the season. Reese McQuaid says, no, probably not Everton. I couldn't care about the cups this season, though. They should be back for Palace at home. It just goes to show. It just goes to show you how devalued the FA Cup's gone. When I realised when I was driving back yesterday that our next game it's Everton away in the FA Cup, I just thought, I almost got a feeling like the international break. it's like so pointless.
Yeah.
I know it's awful saying that, but years ago in the 60s, 70s and 80s, you know, FA Cup, oh come on, this is massive.
It was the one that everybody wanted to win.
It's not now, is it?
It's not. I mean, my personal view is the FA devalued the FA Cup when they allowed Man United not to play in it.
Oh, aye.
What they should have said is, yeah, fine, Man United, go off and play in the Club World Cup. That's absolutely fine, but you will never play in the FA Cup again. And that would have changed Man United's opinions. Because it's about the only thing that bloody won recently, isn't it?
It's just the way things have gone. I mean, it's just the same for football, isn't it? The FA Cup. It seems to be like the big cartel clubs always seems to, for some reason, get the easy draws. Like, have you noticed, like the Man Cities and the Arsenals always get like Melchester Rovers or something like that?
Well, yeah. I mean, a classic example. Apparently, Exeter have asked Man City for a bigger share of the gate money for the FA Cup game at the weekend.
And have you noticed Sunderland FA Cup draws or any cup draws that always seem to get played against a team in their own division? Always seems to happen.
Yeah,
we never get like a look. It's not a buy because if Sunderland are not interested, it doesn't matter if you're playing Scrag End FC from the Evo Stick Division League, 15 leagues down. If you're not going to go through, you don't want to go through. But we always get stinker ties, and it's like even Newcastle, there was jammy dodgers getting like the lower teams in cup games.
Unfortunately for Newcastle, they're normally fairly adept at losing to lower league teams as well in the FA Cups. So
we were terrible against Huddersfield, Steve, aren't we?
Yeah, and to answer what's like us, yes, I do recall that when English top sides it was all English sides were banned from Europe because of the Heysel disaster. And it took British football or English football a long time to get over that ban. You know, it was a few years before any English side actually did well in Europe after the ban because we just weren't getting the decent players in. And it was after that ban finished that the Premier League really took off and we started pulling in the top players in the world. And you know, you've got to be fair. You know, we are playing in the world's Premier Football League. It's full of world stars. And to be sitting mid-table now, and could easily, had we won yesterday, we could have been in fifth. Could have been in a Champions League place. But, you know, at the end of the day, it's our first season back. If we finish 17th, I'll be happy. I don't think we will. I think we'll finish probably in the top 10. But, you know, I just don't think that, you know, we're playing against damn good teams. That's the thing.
Newcastle just won v their pals Leeds. It was like 11 minutes added on that game. It was mad. Boreham Wood are a very good side, says Peter. Kevin Ware says, it's not Kevin Ware, we all know it's Kevy Atkinson, but that's what his YouTube channel is, where he's fallen from his rock there. I actually agree. Rest of the full first team for the cup game. We don't need the extra games. We are in a position to finish top 7 this season. Go for it. It'll help us attract a higher calibre. Do you not think that there's a risk of destroying the team morale? I mean, is winning the game surely better than losing the game, no matter what the competition is? I mean, do you want to go into the next league game on the back of a win, or do you think it just does not matter at all?
I think it I would have said for a lot of clubs it does matter, but it doesn't seem to affect Sunderland. You know, we got beat at Man City 3-0, then we came back and beat the Skunks. We then played Man City again, and you know, we matched them. You know, step for step, we matched Man City. That's one of the best teams in Europe, for God's sake. You know, the game against Arsenal, we matched probably the best team in Europe this season, step for step. You know, we can do it. We can do it, and we can do it reasonably consistently. But perhaps it does take the odd game where we underperform, we get beat, and Regis seems to be able to get them back up again for the next game, because a lot of times their heads would go down. And, you know, you'd struggle. You look at West Ham. West Ham couldn't win a game for toffee at the moment.
John McGinney says, sorry, Rob, Wolves what?
Wolves, you know, Wolves have started a little bit of an improvement. I think they're too far gone, to be honest. You know, same with West Ham. They're too far gone. And West Ham just, you know, they just couldn't get a point for begging at the moment. So
John McGinney says, how would you be happy with 17th?
Because everybody had us marked down to be in the bottom. Well, a lot of the pundits had us marked down to be bottom of the league. We've proved them wrong. I don't for 1 minute think we'll finish 17th. Don't get me wrong, John. It's not something I believe will happen. I'm more of maybe he's not as gung-ho as Kev on this one, but Kev's always said, he said from day one that we'd finish 7th this season. I think more like 10th is where we'll finish.
I think where we are now is possible. But you're saying when we get have you seen the next string of games we've got coming up? We've got Palace at home. Then I think we've got Burnley at home, then West Ham away. Yeah, how many points would you expect Sunderland to get out of those 3 games, especially 7, Burnley and West Ham away?
7. We've got Burnley at home. We'll beat Burnley at home, I think.
Do you think so?
Yeah. West Ham away, I think we'll beat West Ham away. Crystal Palace is probably the toughest of those games, but they've gone off the boil.
They were terrible at Newcastle Palace, mind.
Yeah.
They were awful.
Off the boil. A few weeks ago, Palace were the team to beat. But it's like, you know, if you think Bournemouth, when we played Bournemouth and beat Bournemouth 3-2, Bournemouth were above us in the league. And
they looked unstoppable, didn't they?
They did, and they've after that defeat against us, they've just folded like a pack of cards. They're now down near the bottom. Palace are doing the same sort of thing. They will come back. Don't get me wrong. I just hope it's not against us.
I do believe when we get the full strength squad back, I do think we'll have too much for Burnley. But like I say, you've got to want it to win it. It's as simple as that. I mean, the drew against Man United, but I think they're on a downfall at the minute. Same with Chelsea. What they've done with getting Solskjaer back, I think they're in a right mess. West Ham, they're absolutely dreadful at the minute, especially at their patch. Yeah. And I definitely think that if we've got our full strength squad, but yet again, it all depends on us scoring goals. We've got to have someone to put the ball in the back of the net, because that's how you literally win games. Colin Major says, concentrate on the league, but the FA Cup becomes interesting when we get to the quarterfinals and upwards. Go for a CABBIE is right, but again, it doesn't matter as long as stay up and experience this year sets Sunderland up for the next. Who else says? Steve SCFC says, I strongly think we should go on a strong cup run. He says, we're in a decent position in the Premier League, so why not? Kev says, I'm not having any of the crap of
Sorry,
17th,
Kev.
or just staying up talk. We have proved we're good enough for top 10 and mostly certainly 7th. We are way beyond settling for survival. I don't know if you heard us on Total Sport today, but I sent a message in saying, we're not safe yet, blah, blah, blah. Do you know what I mean? We need to stop, like wind our neck ins, basically. We're not safe until we are safe. It's been a while since we've won a game. That's what I said. I was playing a little bit of devil's advocate there because the son of Pelé was on, Martin Smith, and he says I can sort of understand where MACKEM is coming from. He says, well, because we have got a lot of fans that will not be convinced until we're mathematically safe.
Yeah, well, there is that to it, but
how many points ahead of West Ham are we, Rob?
13, I think. Is it 13? Maybe say 14.
Just
bear with me a sec, mate.
Martin Smith says we're 16 points ahead. I don't think we're that.
We are.
Are we actually 16 points ahead?
West Ham are on 14 points. Burnley are on 13. Wolves are on 7. We're on 30. So, yeah, we're 16 points ahead of West Ham.
Now, to be disastrous, right, that means it's, in theory, that's only 5 games, right? Now, what I mean by that is if West Ham won 5 on the bounce, we lost 5 on the bounce, we'd only be like a point ahead of them. But what is the chances of us losing 5 on the bounce and West Ham
winning 5 on the bounce? Is fairly small. But there's also the fact that if West Ham win 5 on the bounce, they're probably going to be playing some of the teams that are between us and West Ham at the moment. So we still wouldn't drop to, 18th. We'd, probably never drop below 13th or 14th.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like I said earlier, I honestly think we'll finish 10th, maybe even 8th or 9th. Kev, I know you've said all the way along that it'll be 7th place finish. I would love to see a 7th or a 6th place finish. Might even get us into Europe this year. But if you go back to the beginning of the season, what would we have accepted as fans? We would have accepted a 17th place finish as a newly promoted team, given what's happened over the last 2 seasons, where the 3 teams that came up went straight back down. This season, it is going to be different. I think Burnley will go down. I do not think Leeds will go down, and I definitely don't think we'll go down. We'll be mid-table, at least.
Leeds, the only thing that would claw Leeds back into trouble is, of course, if West Ham had a mini revival and Leeds' heads have dropped, because that'll have took the wind out of the sails, because they deserved at least a draw from that game. Yeah. They will have been absolutely heartbroken with that, and a lot of the feel-good factor that's around the Leeds squad at the minute, a lot of that will have been zapped out of them after that game. So, they could, if they have a little dip in form and rest. I mean, how far are Leeds ahead of West Ham? Is it 7 points?
8.
It's 8 points. It's respectable enough, mind.
Yeah, Leeds are on 22. West Ham are on 14. So Forest are on 21. I think the bottom 3 that we've got at the moment are probably going to be the bottom 3 at the end of the season.
I think that the dogfight is going to be between West Ham and Forest. I think them's the ones that are going to be.
Forest have got 7 points on West Ham at the moment. So
yeah. Massive 6 point of the bit when they beat West Ham on their patch anyway, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, to finish 17th, says John, would mean we would have to lose every game of the season, though. Don't even think or say the word relegation.
No, that's not going to happen. That is not going to happen.
Well, the Newcastle fans are crawling out of their rocks, and all of a sudden they've got magic Wi-Fi now, saying we're on the slide. That's it, relegation by the end of the season.
Yeah,
they've got the open top buses out at the minute because they're ahead of us.
Yeah, they've got the open top buses out because they won a game.
Steve says 0 wins.
Yeah,
since AFCON. Now,
that is very true.
It is true, but we've only lost one, and we're a newly promoted side in one of the biggest league in the world, and we've only lost one, and we've played Newcastle. We were missing AFCON players for Newcastle. No, we weren't, were we? I don't think we were. I think it was after.
It was after the Man City game. We had most of the AFCON players for the Man City game, the first Man City game, and it was after that we lost them. So we lost some of them for. Did we have them for the game against the Scum? Yes, we did. We had them for the game against the Scum, then we lost them the day after.
But as a newly promoted side and where we are in the league, yes, we've not won since AFCON, but you can't argue with the draw against Brighton. You can't argue, but you possibly could argue a little bit with the draw against Leeds, but Leeds were on fire.
They were good. They played well that night. We were off the pace. They played well.
Draw against Man City, Spurs. I mean,
yeah.
People who think like, you know, they need to give the head a shake if anybody is disappointed that we've not won since then. But I mean, to get a point away from home in the Premier League is a godsend. But what I will say is Sunderland need to start winning at home, and they have been doing well, but they need to start turning the draws into a win. We've drawn the last two at home,
8.
Man City and Leeds, Man City respectively. But we do need at least to win either against Palace or Burnley, without a doubt.
Just looking, the only teams that have lost less games than us this season are Arsenal, Man City, Aston Villa, and Man United have lost the same number of games as us. We have drawn more games than anybody in the league. We've drawn 9 this season. Won 7, drawn 9, lost 5. That's not bad form. That's not bad form.
Of course it's not. No.
You know, if that, and that's roughly halfway through the season. If we can get to the end of the season, win 14, draw 18, and lose 10 or whatever. No, that's too many games, isn't it? Yeah, win 13 games, draw 17 games, and lose 8 games. That's going to be a top 10 finish. You know, and as everybody said, we've got our AFCON contingent. Some of them are going to be back for this weekend. They may get a game this weekend if we're only fielding a weakened team against Devon. We might just get them back in to get them up to speed, or even just a half a game to get them up to speed. We'll have them back. Most of them will be back. There might be Talby might still be missing from the Crystal Palace game because I think Morocco will get to the final. So we'll not have Talby back, but I think we'll have the rest of the AFCON contingent back by the Crystal Palace game. So I'm ready for the Crystal Palace game.
Well, while we're talking about the league table, I'm just getting the league table up now so we can. I don't know if you can see the stream or not, Rob.
Yeah, it's just about coming up now. That's it. It's come up now.
There we go. I mean, as you can look at that bottom section there, there's not many green W's at all, is there? From 2019 to 18, 17,
No.
16.
No, they're losing. The teams below us are losing games. So,
it's only Fulham where they've like won the 3 out the last last 5.
They've won 4 out of 6. Fulham. 4 out of the last 6. We've only lost 1 out of the last 6.
I mean, anybody
Chelsea have lost 2 out of the last 6.
Chelsea have lost 2 of the last 6. Anybody looking and mourning about the Brentford game, look at their form. 1-1 draw, 1-1.
Yep.
You know, it's phenomenal what they're doing. Do you know what I mean? And it's so tightly packed, this Premier League, with points wise, especially the middle pack. It's been this case all season. If you win a game, you seem to jump up 6 or 7 places.
Yeah, exactly. Newcastle did it. Newcastle did it. They went from 12th to 6th with 1 win.
I mean, look where we would have been if we had won yesterday.
We would have been sitting in 5th place.
Do you know what I mean? It's nuts. So it kind of gives you a little bit of a false sort of perspective when you're looking at that, because the fact everybody's just so amalgamated together in the middle section.
Yeah. But it's exactly what you said, though, Stu. Every team below us has, in the last 6 games, have lost 2, 3, 4 games. In fact, the only team that haven't are Leeds. Leeds have only lost 1 in their last 6, same as ourselves. They've won 1, drawn 4, lost 1. That's exactly the same form that we've had.
And you look at that form, it looks like West Ham have got the worst form still to this present day, and that's the worst to have. Even Wolves have got a better form than
in
West
the last
Ham
6, yeah.
in the last 5 or 6 games, and that is bad.
Yeah,
so
West Ham have lost 5 of their last 6. They've lost 5, drawn 1.
The thing is, in the Premier League, there's a saying, isn't there? If you get cut adrift, when the third place team gets cut adrift from the fourth off bottom team by quite a number of points, that's why you're virtually relegated there and then, because it's so hard to put that number of wins together, and for that team above you to lose. That's why it's so important to get off to a really, really good start, because you get stuck in that black hole. That gravitational pull just seems to get harder and harder and harder. And I think that's what's happening now, especially to West Ham. Burnley and Wolves have gone. I am surprised at Burnley, mind. I am surprised at Burnley, how they've gone about things. I thought they would have finished higher than Leeds, to be honest with you, but it's funny how things pan out.
I never thought. I always thought Burnley would be in the bottom 3 at the end of the season, even before the beginning of the season. I think, going back to our first watch along of this season against West Ham, I said West Ham, Burnley, and I actually thought Brentford would struggle this season, but they've done brilliantly.
Yeah,
because they lost half they lost 3 damn good players and the manager last season, didn't they?
they did. It's a funny one. It is. It's a strange one. I don't know. It's Brentford, like I say, they just keep doing it season in and season out, don't they?
Yeah.
But I do think you're possibly right. It is looking like the bottom 3 are the bottom 3. I mean, are you surprised West Ham?
No.
Where they are?
West Ham had a seriously bad last half of the season last year, and they were lucky not to end up pulled into the relegation battle. If it hadn't been for the fact that the 3 teams that went down last season were so bad between them, West Ham would have been in the bottom 3 last season, I think.
You think so?
Yeah. If it had been a season, if it had been a similar setup to this season, West Ham would have been down in the bottom 3. It was only because Ipswich, Southampton, and Leicester were so piss poor last season. You know, think about it. We've got more wins halfway through the season than Leicester, Southampton, and bloody Ipswich managed in a full season between them.
Anyway, you know what time it is, don't you?
Oh, it's our friend, isn't it?
It's our friend.
Not gone off on his holidays yet.
Tinsel, are you there? Are you all right, mate? How are you doing? Come in, Tinsel. Hello, how are you doing, Sunshine? Are you well? What you been up to? You been up to much? He said he's just been lying in his pen for most of the day. He says his neighbours, they've had a couple of pigs moved in next door, and he says he's getting no sleep with what's going on. So he thinks there's going to be bacon sandwiches coming up in the next few days. And we'll be careful what you're saying, Tinsel. So then you're going to go on some predictions. 3 predictions in the FA Cup. And we're going to start off with Everton Sunderland, Tinsel. What do you reckon? He reckons that Everton will win 2-0. You think Sunderland are just not interested, just like Tinsel isn't interested in Christmas. So, Rob, what do you reckon? And people on the chat, what do you reckon?
Yeah,
Everton,
it would.
Sunderland, and the FA Cup.
I wouldn't rule that out. I think we'll end up playing a weekend team. We'll concentrate on the league. So put us a weekend team out. And mind saying that, one thing I will say, and I'm going to quote David Moyes on this: it wasn't a deliberate pull of the hair by Michael Keane last night. Bollocks. Grab a handful of hair and yank it backwards. What's not deliberate about that?
Yeah.
If you've got long hair, you're probably going to get your hair pulled in a game of football. Why?
Well, I'm going to go with Tinsel, but I'm going to go with just the 1-0 Everton. So next we have got Newcastle at home against the mighty Bournemouth. Tinsel, what do you reckon? He reckons Newcastle will be the same. They're focusing on the League Cup, Champions League. He reckons Bournemouth will be comfortable. 2-0 winners, 2-0 again. Rob, what you reckon?
I think Bournemouth by the odd goal. I'll go 1-2. Newcastle 1, Bournemouth 2.
I reckon 3-1 to Bournemouth. That's what I would go by. And finally, we'll go with tasty tie this. Tottenham against Aston Villa. Right, I'd go with that one, mind. He's going for a Tottenham 1, Aston Villa 0. He reckons Villa are really concentrating and finishing high as they possibly can in the league. And he says they're due a win at home, so he's going to go for a Tottenham win. What do you reckon, Rob, to that one?
I think it'll be the other way around. I think Villa will have far too much for Tottenham. Unless, of course, Tottenham get a new manager this week and they get a bit of a new manager bounce, which I can't see happening. So, yeah, I think Aston Villa 3-0.
3-0. I reckon Spurs will win. I'm going to go for 1-0. John Bell says, Tinsel talking shite. He says, Villa 3-0.
Yeah.
Tinsel's talking shite. He's maybe said he's full of giblets too much. Anyway, Tinsel, I do appreciate what you're doing there, mate. So, have you got much planned for the rest of the night? Oh, bargain? Really? Nice one. He said he went to the Metro Centre and he says he's just bought a nice is it duck feather and down feather pillows, he says, so he's going to get a good night's sleep with that one. So he said he's feeling a bit knackered. He's been a bit stressed over Christmas. I don't understand why he would be stressed over Christmas. Like, it's he's supposed to relax. But
the thing is, you mentioned he mentioned bacon sandwiches earlier.
Yeah.
Which is fine because everybody's absolutely bloody sick of eating turkey sandwiches after the last couple of weeks, aren't they?
Well, yeah, they are. Anyway, I'm going to end the show. We've run 15 minutes over. It's been a canny show. Kevs just says, I just hope for a Sunderland defeat. Never thought I would hear myself say that, would you? He says, league this season, lads. And let's get carried away, man. And don't forget, you've got the Let's Get Carried Away clothing store at the top left there. And that's Kev's brand there, and memory of his great father Davey there, who's always on the channel as well. He's never left us.
Yeah.
So just check out the Let's Get Carried Away clothing store. I've still yet to buy something off there. I'm just trying to claw some money back with what we've all spent our Christmas. But I just want to say thanks everybody tuning in tonight. I've enjoyed it tonight. Rob, want to say a good night to everyone?
Yeah, good night, everybody. I totally agree with you, Kev. Concentrate on the league and let's get carried away, man.
Let's get carried